All right, welcome back, YouTube, to part 2 of this loadout race between Bigdy, JP, Killer Bunny, and Liam. Now, I'll reveal the standings in about 20 or 30 seconds. If you haven't watched part 1, go ahead and do that right now. The link will be below in the description. But we've got Rex here, and it's not any ordinary Rex. There's a lot of terms that this Rex loadout has. It's been called Shreks for self-harm Rex. I think it's a little bit more, I don't think it's the nicest phrase to have, so we've kind of just renamed it the self-damage Rex, but that just doesn't have the word Shrek in it, so that's why if you ever hear Shreks, that's what they're referring to, full self-damage Rex. And Liam already has a Void Sent Flame, okay. And JP, that's something everyone's going to find, everyone's going to get. Going to be a lot of AoE damage, able to maybe proc bans if you get another one of those on hand. Or maybe some sort of proc chain with it. We'll go ahead and reveal the scores now. Liam wasn't able to get any points last loadout race in part 1 with the bandit loadout, nor was Killer Bunny, nor was JP, because it was only Big D who not only finished in first, but got both bonus points and finished 40 minutes faster than any other racer, which forced to concede on everyone. It's like, essentially, to put in terms of casual console gamer knowledge, think of that as like getting the nuke in Call of Duty, right? That's the best thing you could possibly do in a loadout. And Big D pulled it off. Is in a really good spot now, and just needs to kind of, I think only needs to get in third place to win this race as a whole, but more raw points are nice, doing better is always good, and we'll see what can happen here. Now, I already know the results of this. It's been a couple weeks since I watched it though, so while I do know the results, I'm not exactly sure how they happen, and I will pretend to not really know as well, or at the very least not reveal them to you. Things to point out, aside from the Void Sent Flame, the Void Sent Flame that everyone except Killer Bunny has at this point, Killer Bunny found something else. That is a vase. And, oh wait, is this one? Oh no. Oh, okay. This is going to be an interesting one. I'll leave it at that. But Killer Bunny is thinking about activating TP. This should be a fast run. I've got a vase. He's probably thinking, right, a lot of self-damage abilities. Rex can really pump out good numbers. Really good damage numbers. But what's Killer Bunny's unfortunately missing out on, not only being super far away from the Titan at the start of this here, is going to have to deal with some lasers, but is missing pennies. Right? Pennies with wisps, with Titans. This is something that you really want to have if you want to go fast. Right? And with Killer Bunny, going so fast is going to miss out on a lot of items. Right? Could miss out on the pennies entirely, could miss out on maybe some healing drones. Right, just got a little too carried away and thought, oh, vase, that means I gotta go. And that's kind of a no. Our other racers here, however, we have Big D up in the top left, the champion from Loadout 1. Again, only needs to get in third place to win this race. Guaranteed. Right? Can have two racers do better, can even have them get the double bonus. It's fine. Kind of chilling. Pennies, though, in hand, right? Has the vase, has the pennies. Personally, I would have tried to get beamed by a Titan. You can always just use Neurotoxin, reduces enemy damage by like 30%. But is instead just gonna kill it. Gets a Wax Quill as the boss item. Killer Bunny also doing that as well. But I had to stand outside the TP boundary for a really long time, and any time advantage that Killer Bunny had from starting TP earlier is already gone, as Big D is at 60% charged and Killer is at 20. The other two racers here, one found a crowdfunder, has a vase, that would be Liam, and JP, who hasn't found the vase yet and has the crowdfunder only. That's going to be interesting here. There are two bleed daggers. If you look at JP's screen, look at his inventory. There it is, has pennies, has double dagger, has crowdfunder. One might consider crowdfunder to be the right choice here over vase. Vase is a pillar skip, but there could be other pillar skips down the line. That we could see take place. And we still got 4 other stages to go. If you have some bleed, and you've got a crowdfunder, Rex's normal proc coefficient is 0.5. Can't really make use of that bleed. But the Thunder, although expensive, can kill enemies. Can prevent cope. Right, a base will just get you from point A to point B. Might let you loot a little bit faster, but that's about it. And as Liam gets double bleed, hasn't activated TP yet, but has the vase now as W also picks it up. Has firework, has the bear. Same items everyone else has found. There's an energy drink as well. And Killer Bunny's trying to use the vase. Is that a good vase? That is a good vase. Aims it up well. Lands, sees another equipment. Is thinking about that equipment. Saw the Void Cradle in the background. You want to get that. And Big D typed this out in chat. I remember this. Big D typed out, Crunder might have been the play. That means crowdfunder for all of you who don't speak Wranglish. Right. As Big D was thinking, oh wait, did I make the right choice? I picked up a vase. Is that the right call? Well, we'll see. There is a watch printer on stage 2, immediately out of spawn, that maybe you could go into. Maybe if you have a scrapper, you can get rid of your bleed daggers and not even think about it. Right? Just go for watches, get some raw damage in there, and call it a game. Liam, by the way, having to step out of bounds, using the M1 a bunch. Has to look out for the dubiously accurate Stone Titan Fist. Has to look out for getting canceled like Hostile Worlds just got canceled. Oh. Oh, here's a fist. Uh-oh. Liam, and as rough as a spot as Gearbox is as a franchise, or Risk of Rain 2 is as a franchise, is gonna be able to pull through, I think, and not die. Well done, Liam. It has a bunch of pennies to show for it, too. 165 bucks. Good stuff. I will point out, with pennies, you cannot just use the self-damage Rex abilities to farm. I wish you could. It doesn't work that way, though. You know what else is weird about pennies? I wish you could go to sulfur pools and, like, you know, there's that poison debuff that the poison pods have. Why doesn't that give you money? Right? If you catch on fire, you get money. If you know, get stone tightened, you get money. If you're bleeding, you get money. But the poison pods on sulfur pools, which is stage 3, what we'll see here in this loadout, they don't give anything. They give absolutely nothing except for the initial explosion. Right? If we're gonna make all the new stages OP in some way, shape, or form, right? Siphon Force has a bunch of credits. Aphelion Sanctuary gets a bunch of cleansing pools. Sulfur pools gets a bunch of equipments. But oh man, if you just had like 1 penny and went to sulfur pools, you could just instantly hit TP. It would have been awesome. I would actually choose to go there. But I don't, because it doesn't work that way. Damage chest found by Killer Bunny up on the top cliff here. Could be something good. Up here, this is a part of the map people really don't like to go up to. Oh, Killer Bunny actually was the only one to take a crowdfunder, by the way. Has the double bleeds, like, ooh, I know what this does. But you gotta be careful, because just because you have double bleed on crowdfunder doesn't mean you should use it early. And even worse for Killer Bunny is no pennies. At least some of the other racers could farm pennies and get some good value from that. Like a lot sooner. As opposed to not using it until stage 5 or not using it until the moon. And instead has to hold on and just sit around with it. Alright, we're gonna see what that damage chest is now. Opens it up. It is Sticky Bomb. Okay, pretty useless. I think it's like a 2.5% chance to proc from your M1. So, you know, not good. There's no other real proc chain with that as well. Right. Stickies have a 0 proc coefficient, so you can't get bleed off them. Not really too much going there. Squid Polyp is the boss item. This Big D's getting really low in health, making use of that Tangling Growth, though. Take a look at that. All those beetle guards, all those wisps and Lemurian and whatever remnants of that gup. Right, just being held back down to 40 health though. Oh my god. And base is away. Probably actually could have survived that landing because when you have 200 curse, you can kind of do that since fall damage is percent based and not just HP based. Or it's just found by the way for Liam inside the water. It's a rejuve. So I guess you can heal twice as fast. That's kind of cool. For all the healing you don't need on Rex. You know, damage is healing on Rex. If you get watches and then you shoot something, since I think it's like half the damage or 20% of the damage from your M1 on the third hit, the one that gets the neurotoxin, I forget what the number is, but it converts into healing. So if you get watches or focus crystals or AP rounds, all that stuff, it turns into healing. And it's kind of cool. You don't really need healing items as Rex at all. Damage is healing. And in this case, healing is kind of damage, but that's more of a Monsoon mindset to have. Because you really can't afford, or any damage you do take, you kind of just immediately get back with your abilities, and you'll lose your health in terms of curse. Big D, the only one having hit the TP, is going to finish having it be charged in just a couple seconds, which is really good if you're trying to get in first place here, if you're really just trying to make a name for yourself. Right, Big D's already won one race, and is very likely going to win this one as well. Unless he really messes up. Gets one watch there. There was the watch printer at spawn. Good thing about watches, and this is kind of like a hidden upgrade with Eclipse 8, is the more curse you get, right, the more curse you have, the smaller the threshold for losing your watches are. So Big D has to go down to like 12 health. Which at that point, you're pretty much dead anyways. It's not, there's like no scenario where you survive that, right? So you can just take damage all you want. On the downside, though, it's a lot harder to proc Stealth Kit. It's a lot harder to proc Genesis Loop. Right, so there are downsides to that. There's a Rejuve rack for Killer Bunny as well. Huge healing value. And a utility chest for Liam gives a rusted key. A rusted key that everyone except for Big D's found. And Big D's starting to get low on money. It does get an opal. That can give you half off in terms of curse gain off of one shift. Which is kind of nice, because the shift comes back about as often as you regain the opal. If you just wait a couple seconds more, right? Don't take any hits. It's kind of cool. Wow, a lot of healing items here. We have double Daisy on all the racers that get that large chest out in the open there, the one that you just saw JP get. Everyone just has double Daisy. Everyone has one or two... No, wait, no, actually Big D's the only one with slugs. Because JP has one. Might find another down the line. Big D didn't get that slug from a tri-shop, did he? That would have been an oopsie. Yeah, where's the crowbar on Big D? I feel like you'd want crowbar. Huh. Yeah, there we go. JP knows what's up. It's like, okay, I see this crowbar, I'll take it. It's a good item that helps me deal damage. There's a goat hoe for Liam. Nice. As JP begins the fight, there's a scrapper right outside of spawn that Big D gets and is like, yo, I know what I'm doing with this. And gets one green scrap? Okay, realizes, oh, I know what I need to do. Or doesn't. And right as I'm focused on the two Lepton Daisies that Big D refuses to scrap, sees the true value on the, end quote, slept on Daisy. Be sure to like this video and subscribe if you love the phrase, slept on Daisy. I hate saying it. I'm sorry. Sorry, I take that back. Let's take a look at Killer Bunny. This should happen to me after saying that. Killer Bunny just gets stuck. So many brass contraptions, so many enemies, doesn't have really much of a crowd control. Should really use the Tangling Growth in a situation like that, but doesn't. Takes a death. Thankfully, no watches. But now, again, 5 minutes behind here. And should I mention it yet? We'll wait a little bit longer. We'll wait just a tad more. as the Squid Polyp is picked up for Killer Bunny. A very quick TP kill, but yeah. I don't know what Big D did when he was thinking about the slug. Definitely want the crowbar on that. The other two options were Elixir and Slug, but we have to go back again and take a look at what happened to JP, because deaths are happening left and right, quite literally. Bottom left and top right to be exact, but dealing with these oh no. Yeah, that's just one Sunder too many. Those Beetle Guard Sunders, if you get hit by them, they kind of like stun lock you. You get stuck. You can't move. You can't do anything. Except just kind of sit there. Because they try to pull you in towards them. It's kind of weird. The Sunder that like goes out away from them sucks you in. It's kind of like reverse thinking, as Killer Bunny just takes another death. Don't really need to review that one. Just kind of hugged a bunch of enemies. And I'll go ahead and say it now. So there's this thing that we kind of know about Killer Bunny at this point. Killer Bunny's been really common here in these highlights, I noticed. Like, just so happened my schedule and Bunny's schedule seem to line up well. But when Killer Bunny takes one or two deaths early on a run, or just sees that a run just isn't it, if a run is it, as JP takes another death here, we'll take a look at this one. But if a run is it for Killer Bunny, yeah, it's just another Sunder incident right there. JP not feeling good about it, 10 minutes behind. Liam having had a death too. When did Liam die? I missed that one. Luckily didn't die with the watch in hand. Has that now, can't die again. But when Killer Bunny dies like once or twice, eventually tilt mode just kind of kicks in, and less and less care for just staying alive remains. Right, Killer Bunny, I don't want to say like easily tilts, but tilts in a very different way. Doesn't really tilt in terms of like frustration, of like, I hate this game, I hate doing this. I mean, Killer Bunny has a ton of fun playing this, right? Has reached out to me saying like, hey, this is really cool, I love doing this. But eventually what will happen is just like this infinite death loop where Killer Bunny's like, oh no, I need to finish first place before anyone else finishes, right? If I can finish first place in real time, then my time will count and I won't get a DNF, right? So I don't know if it's like a strategy to try and game the system. It's something I have to kind of think about in future leagues if I do it, because the way the rules are is the concede policy only happens after first place finishes. If someone finishes a run beforehand, it still counts, right? I'm not going to take away a victory and everything that they got. You know, they got to the ship. I feel like it's only fair they get to finish or have it qualify, have it count. But someone who's a little bit slower, like 40-45 minutes slower, doesn't have it ending up counting from. I think what I might have to do is just, you know, maybe I'll increase the time limit from 40 minutes to like 50 minutes, but I might have to have it in the future where even if you finish a run, if you're 40 minutes slower, it just counts as a DNF anyways. Just to be fair to people who are maybe playing a little bit slower, or people who are pausing the game a little bit more. And that's just an oops on my part, but Killer Bunny kind of sees that. It's like, okay, I can use this system. I can use this system and kind of game it. And by gaming, I mean, holy bleep. Thanks, YouTube. I don't want to get demonetized. I'm actually on good behavior. It says it on my YouTube profile that I'm on good behavior, and that the checks for ad revenue are all manual on my part now. So if I'm bad, though, I could lose that. But we're doing good right now, and not Killer Bunny, Big D, I guess Killer Bunny as well, is he takes death number 3, went for a lot of green scrap. They both saw a Kajaro band printer. And with that in play, with that in hand, some really good things can happen, right? With all those garbage greens, the Lepton daisies, all that, suddenly you have your shift ability, which is a 550% AoE damage ability with a 0.5 proc coefficient. It has a proc coefficient so it can proc bands, which is really good, right? You can just press shift on something, boom, 550, and then it does like 2.5 times the damage, or 3 times. I think it's 3 times over time. Over like 6 or 7 or 8 ticks. But 4 fire bands, I mean, that's 550 times like 12? So you're getting like 7,000% damage over time, yeah. And bigdywigdy, just right there alone, annihilates, absolutely decimates those the double beetle queen that spawned in. And it's just trying not to die. This is what you have to do. If you were full looting or playing a win streak or something, you'd be standing super far away, trying not to die, trying to shoot everything down from a distance and end up in a cope situation. You can't afford to do that in the hosting league or in any gauntlet race. Because what ends up happening is the enemies just start getting more and more frequent, have more and more health, and then you end up in cope. Sometimes you just gotta power through. If you take one death, it's not the end of the world. Almost everyone else dies in loadouts like these a lot if you take one death. Now, if you take 5 or 3 deaths, right, in Killer Bunny's situation with 5 fire bans, right, maybe trying to play a little bit safer now that, those deaths are, oh god, poison pod, blind pest into poison pod. Killer Bunny almost dies from the poison pod from a blind pest that didn't even shoot. Didn't even shoot him. Shot near him, and that was enough. But a good thing about Rex, with just 1 kill with that rejuve rack, that's monsoon healing right there. That's how Rex normally plays. You can take so many hits. It doesn't even matter that Rex has a bad hitbox, because you can just instantly recover all your health. But not when there's blind pests and 2 Clay Templars shooting at you. That's not too good. Yikes. Liam, by the way, found the scrapper, going for the scrapper, using the scrapper. Gets bleed number 3. Brings his bleed chance to 15%. JP with 2 deaths here. Uh-oh. Yep, Killer Bunny's gone full tilt. Or has gone full game mode. Right, thinking if I could finish first, if everyone else DNFs except for 1 person, I get 2 points. Big D gets first, I get second. Or maybe third if 1 other person finishes. And it's now going full tilt, just try to speedrun the game. Is at 7 deaths. We'll keep a track of Killer Bunny's deaths throughout. But it's going to get pretty interesting on that screen. I'll say that. Liam and JP, meanwhile, trying not to die. Trying to just hold on for dear life. Right, have 1 and 2 deaths apiece. There's an ATG next in like a way corner, like the way tippy top corner of the map. Next to the eggshell. Near the cave that Big D just found. You get a focus crystal, you get an ATG. And a brooch, which brooches are actually pretty useful on Rex. They keep you alive a little bit longer. They do have a downside though, which is you start using your shifts and your M2s and stuff, and you gain like 30 curse from it. It's kind of insane. Yeah, double brooch there. And a repulsion armor. Okay, the repulsion will help at least. If you have like 20 health left, right, your M2s start doing like 1 and 2 damage to you, so you don't really gain any more curse from that. But Big D's still going for full looting. And all of the other racers are too. Right, if any of the other racers also have a rusted key and find the rusted lockbox, they end up getting a hardlight afterburner, which is a pillar skip. Uh-oh. JP just lost Quail. It would have been really good if JP saw that scrapper from earlier, because that is dangerous. That is not a spot you want to be in. Quail is almost all of your movement speed, if you're JP. If you're JP, your only other movement speed is 1 Mocha, 2 hooves, and a... I guess so. I guess it's nice to keep, or it's okay to get rid of it. Personally, I'm not a fan of losing Quail. I think Quail is one of the most powerful speed items in racing. Just being able to have a huge burst of speed, I feel like it's like the equivalent of 1 or more than just 1. It's like 2.5 speed items worth in my book. Just so much movement value you get from it. Speaking of healing items, a forward fruit was found on both Big D and on JP. Neither of them picked it up. Guess that means they're okay with Rex's healing. Of course it's gonna be fine. Well, this is the highlight. What is there to highlight right now? They're on a very yellow stage. There's wings. There's a Prion. Oh, there's a Prion. Now you could go with Prion or you can go with Vase. I'm kind of curious if someone is really into Prion hugging. JP, by the way, did get the afterburner from the rusted box. Well done. GG. Easy. Killer skip acquired. If you really wanted to go for that Prion, you could with that. Might not be a bad idea. And what's... Oh, God. Oh, this is important. Big D, the one who's like the hero, spawns in on stage 4, takes some damage, and double hit from a mending LiamABean. Is like, what up? I will now kill you. I will now give you a 5-minute penalty. You think you can be deathless like the rest of your friends? Foolish. You will now also die. And Big D now has to worry about that. Right, lost 20% damage overall. Killer Bunny now has more deaths than there are months in the year. Wait, that's not true. There's 12 months, has 12 deaths, equal to the number of months in a year. Liam started the stage 3 TP. He's going to die. I almost guarantee it. If Liam doesn't die... Oh, that's not Liam. If Liam doesn't die... Ooh, what do I do? He gets put into the Hall of Fame. I almost said the Wall of Shame. Two very different things. The Wall of Shame is going to be Killer Bunny at the end of this run. We'll see how many deaths. Type in the comment section to predict how many deaths will Killer Bunny have by the end of this run. Don't cheat. Don't skip ahead. And if you get it right, you'll be really cool. You'll get a high five, an air high five from me, the gamer host himself. Losing a watch as well as JP now on the 3rd death. Oh, I think Liam took a death. Did Liam die? Hold on, I gotta go back. Yeah, Liam definitely died. Lost the watch. And oh man, it was starting to clear out the place. There was only a few other Beetle Guards, a few Shungite, or Alpha Constructs, my bad. Yeah, it took a death there, and it might take another death down to... Oh my god, did you see that? Had like 13 health. Someone who did die, though, was JP. Take a look at this, getting down on health. There's double Beetle Queen, there's so many Beetle Guards. Thunder was disguised by all the dead corpses and laying bodies all over the place. Got up to JP, and JP takes a death. JP did take the Prion Accumulator, which I don't hate the idea of having Prion over Vase. Right, if you get a Prion shot at the start of Phase 3, Mithrix's Adaptive Armor is really powerful, and will reduce a lot of that damage from all those fire ticks, but could still get some really good results, especially against bosses. If you're Prion hugging properly, that is. Another death as well for Liam or JP. I can't really even tell at this point. There's so many of them. Okay, I'm assuming corpse cleanup's going to happen. Yeah. Yep, that's immediate corpse cleanup. Good call for JP. I think corpses are cool. But when you're trying to play the game, and once you have it really down, they obstruct your vision. And unless you want corpse vision to be a game mechanic, it's better to have it turned off. Killer Bunny now has more deaths than... Oh, the number 14 is equal to the number of days in a fortnight. There you go. There you go. Magma Worm, the Stage 4 TP boss. Very fire-themed run. The fire bands, and now a Magma Worm. We'll see what the boss item is. Maybe it's good. But again, I mean, the items aren't bad at all. There's plenty of movement speed for these racers. There's plenty of I mean, there's an opal for defense. There's ATGs if they find it. I think everyone found it except for Killer Bunny. Yeah. There's, what else was there? There's a Prion if you want to go with Prion at bans. There was a Crowdfunder if you want to go for Triple Bleed, which we know there was Triple Bleed, as Liam has that. Right, so this run isn't bad. I think it would be kind of foolish to say that. I don't know if maybe some of the racers are just doubling down, pressuring themselves to go as fast as they possibly can, in fear of not getting in first place. Maybe they want first place. For JP and for Liam, they kind of need it at this point. Maybe not first, but at least a second. And to be able to beat Big D, to get a few points in there, would solidify second place for him. And would give him some raw points to try and get him on the leaderboard a little bit better. And just so many deaths happening here as I mean, Big D's just trying to hang on for dear life. Has like 224 curse. JP has, okay, finally finishes off the Many Elite. It's only at 10 curse, but has 5 deaths? Or 4 deaths? 4 deaths. 3 deaths is Liam, the second least. But at this point in the run, I mean, if they keep dying and if Big D keeps, like, only occasionally dying, Big D's gonna finish way ahead of them. Right, the one challenge of this loadout is just trying to dodge enemies, trying to dodge everything. Because you're almost always a one-shot. Which means moving in circles and all that comes to a whole new level. As you're using your hardlight afterburner with all the bramble volleys, as you're using your seed barrages. Right, those are your sources of damage. And it does a lot, but you gotta be careful. And as the boss finally finishes off for Killer Bunny immediately leaves. Big D also not necessarily leaving yet, but getting ready to leave, finds the ukulele that Killer Bunny found. Is gonna go and check to see if the cave's open. Cave is not open. They can go above the cave and find something cool. Newsflash. Liam just entered stage 4. I think there's a rusted key right there. Liam had 2. We'll see what this one is. It's a Will-O-Wisp, which turns into another Void Scent Flame, which means you now have a source of band procking. That doesn't involve your shift, that doesn't involve your M2. You don't have to do self-damage to use that. Right, the only other person that has that is JP. It's JP and Liam. Those are the two. Both feeling pretty good on that. Double ukulele found for Big D. Able to hit many targets whenever it procs. I believe it's what, like 3 targets plus 2? Ooh, doesn't have enough for the legendary chest though. No, Killer Bunny did not get legendary chest. Killer Bunny, again, is just trying to game the system, trying to beat the game ASAP, has a bunch of fire bans. We'll eventually be able to, but it's already at 21 deaths. Oh, and Big D, with the first rusted key, gets the hard light afterburner. Right, Big D did not get a rusted key on stage 2. So did not find that lockbox, but gets that one. And now everyone has at least opened the first lockbox that spawns. I should mention that lockboxes are seeded in this. So the first lockbox that spawns will all have the same item. If they choose not to pick up that lockbox up, the second one will spawn in, it'll be the second item in the list. So, let's see, did anyone have a rusted key? No, no one has any. So I don't think we'll be able to see the next item in the list, but yeah, if I did have one, it would show like maybe Berserker's Pauldron's the second item in the list, and then it goes on into the next roll, and the next roll, and the next roll for one item for every stage to try and keep things the same. Because keys are kind of weird. Normally, they can be like completely different depending on when you pick them up and what other items you get before the rusted box. It just completely changes the seating. Same with, I think shipping request form can edit it as well. We've got it all down to a science, and a science, as we look at JPW, what's going on here? 218 curse, dealing with these worms, and is that just going to be a direct hit from the worm or an Elder Lemurian shot? Oh, splash damage. Splash damage, and then a Glacial Lemurian from behind of all things finishes him off. And JP is now at 5 deaths. But Big D's only at 1. Big D's kind of chilling. Big D's kind of got this figured out. And you do take some damage. You just don't want to spam all of your abilities at all times, right? I mean, health is nice to have. Take advantage of that opal. You get 1 shot off every 7 seconds or so. That's okay. Just kind of want to hold on to some health. The idea being towards the end of the stages, oh my god, that Psy Construct. Just absolutely blasting Big D. He has to use the base in order to not die. Guys, only at 1 death, deaths still mean a lot. I mean, they should always mean a lot. If you're at 10 deaths, try not to get an 11th. If you're at 0 deaths, try not to go to 1. Because 5 minutes is still going to be 5 minutes, which is always going to be a lot. Each one just as important as the last, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I think it'd be pretty easy to try and pull off this run and at least get a win before the 163-minute mark. Right, with Killer Bunny now at 26 deaths, equal to the number of letters in the alphabet. Just kind of a yikes. Something cool to note is Liam here actually found not 1 but 2 opals. Hasn't activated the TP yet. Again, at 4 deaths, 3 deaths more than the Big D. But grab some drones, it's getting ready, it's getting set up. Preparing for the worst. Gee, it's 5 drones, that's a lot. Kits of Bungus. And a medkit. Okay. Man, all these items just suck. If it wasn't for those printers, right, for the Fireband printer, where would they be in this run? It would just be the ATG, the Hardlight Afterburner. I guess the right move would have, at that point, just been Crowdfunder Triple Bleed. And lots of movement speed. I guess would be the next best thing. There's still a Zai construct just chilling out. Oh, there's a shuriken. There's a shuriken and a tri-shop that Big D just passed by on stage 3. That is something that he's going to want. Again, that's going to be a form of proccing bans without dealing self-damage. There's also an FMP found. Not really much that you're going to get from there. I think literally just the gasoline is it for Big D. That's the option he goes for. Newsflash on Killer Bunny, now at 31 deaths. More deaths than there are days in any month of the year, at least in a second from now when death number 32 kicks in. Killer Bunny really holding on to death number 31. All the brooches just randomly kicking in. And getting a lot of charge time in this one. Okay. Oh, nope, there it is. Okay, now at 32 deaths. JP done with stage 4. And wait, whoa. Hold the phone. Go back. Most recent item on JP. Legendary chest. That's a scorpion. That's huge. That is so huge. You're gonna get so much value on that. I'll go ahead and speed back through here. As JP goes for the teleport, gets to stage 5. Wow, Scorpion. So that's a debuff. You have Death Mark. You have Neurotoxin as debuff number 2. Debuff number 3, Bleed. And debuff number 4 is Fire. So you can proc Death Mark. That's also an extra 50% damage. On top of everything else. Now you don't get as much value on Rex with Scorpion because you already reduce enemies' armor, I believe by... Is it 20 or 40? I think it's just 20. So it's like 10 free Scorpion stacks alone, just from the Neurotoxin. Which I think makes you end up doing like 1/6 more damage to something that's triggered by it, assuming they have 0 armor. If they have more than 0 armor, you get even more value. But Scorpion, nonetheless, is going to be a huge damage bonus against Mithrix and against boss enemies. There's a gun, a Tricorn that Big D picked up, by the way. There's a Zai Construct. Big D trying to be really careful not to shoot the Zai Construct, trying to resist. Just giving in, unless it's already dead. Unless I'm just looking at someone else's screen as oh my god, JP takes yet another death, now up to 66 minutes, 10 minutes more than that of Liam. Liam, who's, oh my god, look at that curse number, 322 curse on Liam here. Topaz Brooch really kicking in with all that value. Is there any other racer with double Brooch, or is it just Liam? JP also has it. But Liam actually went through that whole event without dying. Hopefully it doesn't die to a hermit crab. That could happen. Would be kind of sad. Liam's going to loot the map. Has $5,200, which I believe is enough to get the... Oh, well, not anymore. Scorpion is cut off from Liam. Will no longer be able to get it. It's trying to go for a bunch of drones. Maybe try and get a drone man? Is there a blue portal? I feel like that's a good call if you have blue portal and you're just trying to gamble for that. Right, you get drone man. If you're Liam right now, it's GG. If you get drone man and you only have one drone and it's at like 40 minutes in game time, drone man's kind of useless until you can really stockpile after a TP event. But I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drones. That's a lot. It's a lot of drones. At the very least, Liam isn't going to be getting shot at much. Hopefully they don't all die to a grandparent. I don't think there is any grandparent on stage 5, though. As the TP event is only now just beginning for Big D. Big D gets Soul's control unit, uses the gun, and immediately takes one down. But here's the problem is, I mean, look at that curse number. I mean, Liam just pulled it off earlier. I don't know if Big D's going to be able to get off this whole TP event without at least dying once. Killer Bunny, meanwhile, trying to figure out how to host skip. Or not host skip, normal pillar skip. And needs to do it a lot further away. Needs to start this from a high ground. You can try doing this technique with Rex if you're at the top of Soul Pillars or if you're above Blood Pillars. Even above, I think it's on the top of Mass Pillars. Just looking at the flame, it's like, haha, my run's on fire. But yeah, that's like the worst spot you can probably think of to start it from. Oh wait, no, it gets up there. Okay, just trying to go for a different approach slightly. I don't know if you can do it from this point. But yeah, you want to, after every shift application as well, you want to make sure you're sprinting again. Because you forcibly stop sprinting after every application. Yeah, that's not gonna take you up. You need to sprint after every one. And you could probably just do it all in one go. Killer Bunny doesn't make it, and it's gonna take a +5. I've been there before, trust me. Unless Teddy Bear. Nope, no Teddy Bear. Liam now on to Sky Meadow as well. Does not have Scorpion. Has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 drones? Oh my god. Big D with double Teddy Bear taking a lot of blocks. Still alive. Is definitely still in it. Every 5 minutes count. Alright, so if Big D can figure out a way to get this finished off without dying, we'll be in a really good spot. Obviously, no Brooch, so can't really use that as a way of doubling health. 400 health is a lot better than 180, I'll tell you that. Does have double wrap and a Rose Buckler, I guess. But just one silly shot, one mushroom hit, one Parent Slam. Oh no, Parent Slam doesn't kill, okay. See, the way Big D's doing by holding on to these lives, you kind of want to do. Because you look at the other racers and you're like, how is Big D only at 1 death? Well, this is how. Look at that. So like 372 curse, 373 curse. Is still alive. Is trying to get any charge in. Sees a Wisp. Uh-oh, can't have that. Tries to kill the Wisp, doesn't though. Oh, it's only a 20% TP charge. Okay, that's going to be hard. Well, you do want to preserve your life as much as you can. Yeah, there's an Elder Lemurian. You might as well not even care about your max HP at this point, as a Teddy Bear block saves that life. I don't know, maybe one Fireball would have survived. Trophy Hunters, by the way, used on Liam. It's not Empathy Course, though. That's unfortunate. Immediately went for the Eye Construct. Doesn't have to worry about his Eye Construct, which might have killed him a couple times, but Glacial Elder will, if you're standing still. Or not standing still, but standing near. Right, you want to just run away from that, and Liam gets the memo at that point. See an Elder, don't have the most amount of speed, right? I mean, the speed is 1 energy drink, 1 goat hoof. I guess 2 energy drink now, with a mocha. But Kind of terrifying. Killer Bunny, by the way, almost passing the 4-hour mark on the Mithrix fight. So the good news for these racers is, yes, while Killer Bunny is the furthest ahead in real time, they still have 3 hours. If they were to not die, would have 3 hours to finish this run. And be fine. W, by the way, found the Shuriken printer. As Big D is still charging. Is Big D actually going to get away with this? Oh my god, no way, look at this. 95, 96, 97. I don't know if all the enemies are capped out, nothing else is spawning in, but that is just nothing but mushrooms, right? Isn't killing the mushrooms because they're manageable, and the enemy count caps off at 40 enemies, right? No more than 40 could be spawned in at a time. So if you just remove all the Shungites that are near TP, or Alpha Constructs, right, have all the ones that are standing around random parts of the map, they count as a whole enemy. Hermit Crabs only count as a half enemy, by the way. Which I don't know why the Alpha Constructs don't count as half. I think that's just an oversight, overlooked feature that the developers didn't really think about when they were designing them. When they were designing the DLC, I feel like they were pretty much done with the game and didn't really want more with it at that point. But, hey, I'll take it. I'll use it. As 50 missiles just flies out of Big D, trying to take care of those mushrooms. You gotta be careful. You don't want to get hit by them. Hopefully there's no one, any others kind of lurking around elsewhere. And we'll go ahead and focus our focus over to W, who found the Shuriken. That's going to be huge. W, who has an ATG, has a Shuriken, has 2 sticky bombs, has the Scorpion, really, really good DPS, does not pick up the Harpoon, fair enough, and has a Prion with an Ice Band, with 5 Fire Bands. This is a really good setup if you're JP. Oh, okay, well that's 21 Curse. Trying to figure out how to use Hardlight Afterburner with Rex most effectively. My advice to racers, it's a really awkward setup, but if you really want to figure out how to use this shift on the moon to the best of your ability, to use it to get the furthest with the least amount of shifts, try out the debug toolkit, give yourself an afterburner, a couple speed items or something, and try and lab it out a bit. It'll save you some curse, it'll save you some time. You know, it's not as common as something as like a host skip. It's one singular red item, the afterburner, but it's good knowledge. You never know when it'll come in handy. It'll come in handy here. Liam, by the way, 10 minutes ahead of W, 20 minutes behind of Big D. Can't really afford to die much, right? Big D didn't die during Stage 5 at all. Right, had that one hiccup on Stage 4 to the Elder, and that's been it. That's really what divides the 13th seed from the 25th, from the 21st, from the 24th. Right, gets the Shuriken, which I'm honestly surprised didn't get it earlier. I swore Big D saw it a while back, but doesn't get it till now. Yeah, W is immediately proccing Deathmark, by the way. Take a look at that. That's a 50% damage buff on top of all the other debuffs going on there. Having a Chrono Bobble, having the Scorpion, having Rex debuff, and having... Is that just one Bleed Dagger? Ooh, only one Bleed. Is there any other debuffs you could use? I guess your Roots. Fuse the Rex Roots with Tangling Growth. That's one solution. That's 5 Repulsion Armor Plates as well, so that's 25 less health per hit. Update, Killer Bunny is now at 251 minutes, has more deaths than years that I would consider to be not old. Congratulations, if you're 41 years old, I have just called you middle-aged today. Pat yourself on the back. If you're 42 and older, though, I'm sorry. No offense, age is, comes with wisdom. That's it. I might be laughing now. Give me 10 years, I'll be right up there with you. As the deaths just keep racking up. 4 hours You can see Killer Bunny kind of aging in real time. But there is one good news about, or good thing for Killer Bunny here, is what he's doing, assuming that he's able to finish before Big D is going to be able to place. And if anyone else DNFs, right, Killer Bunny will get points. It's again an oversight, something that I didn't really think about when I was designing the system, something that I gotta figure out for future hosting leagues, and thankfully it won't affect the tournament, where forced concedes won't exist, but yeah, a little bit of an oversight here. As Killer Bunny is at 4.5 hours. Yikes. Four and a half hours here and might be able to finish. Might actually not be able to, though. Big D here is at 53 minutes. And is going to the soups. Might find something good. Might find nothing good. But has empathy cores. None of the other racers got the empathy cores. Every other racer's like, I don't like that Xi construct, or I don't like anything out there. But not the cores. As Liam, oh my god, look at Liam. Let's watch that again. Liam steps back, activated the teleport just a couple seconds ago. 2 Souls control units pop up, but there is Deathmark with the Ice Band activation. Oh, Ice Band, that's another debuff for JP, but a few contraptions spawn in behind. Liam's like, that's my time to get out of here. Runs back. 1 control unit died in the course of like 5 seconds. Insane, incredible DPS. Other one's dead, but gotta get out, gotta get out. Does get out. You can never really tell if you're going to get hurt by those or not. And, oh, did you see that? Had about 3 health. Might die in a couple seconds here. The Razor Wire is really doing a lot of value. As Liam is still on fire. Okay, not anymore. There's a brass contraption right behind. Will kill. Not careful. But with all these drones and now with these 4 alpha constructs, Liam is just not being targeted. Oh. 18 health, 22, 52 health. No, you gotta shoot. You gotta shoot the Wisp. Don't run away from it. You gotta find something, you gotta shoot it, or you're gonna die. Oh my god. So much going on here for Liam, who's probably gonna die soon. We'll go ahead and take a look back at the others. JPW, trying to figure out where to go. Oh, almost hosts. Almost fell off the edge, but had the Hardlight Afterburner to save the day. Has 5... Oh my god, JP, you're scaring me. Is thinking about it, and is going for the same approach that Killer Bunny went for by going over at the ramp. Again, I like to go over by Soul Pillars. It gets the job done. It makes it so I don't have incidents like this. At the very least, JP does find a side. Is still alive. Oh, Liam died earlier. Okay. Yeah, it took 1 extra death. But 1 death for that whole TP is not the end of the world. I feel like 3 deaths, 2 deaths even is bad. But 1 death isn't the end. Right, you're 25 minutes behind Big D, but if the deaths stop here, right, Mithrix is less of a cluster than Stage 5 is. Although no Feather actually might be in some dire situation here. Because if you don't have Feather, you have to land your Tangling Growths, and that's going to reduce your health pretty quickly. But Liam is done with the TP now. And while Liam is done with the TP, guess who else is done? Killer Bunny is on to Phase 4. And as long as Killer Bunny can kill Phase 4 before Big D does, or before Big D charges the ship, I should say, we'll be able to actually finish a run at 311 minutes. That's 5 hours, a little over 5 hours. And I think, uh-oh. Yeah, W's going for this technique. You gotta look away. You gotta turn around and do that. It's just trying to stay alive, trying to wiggle on the side a little bit. That's not gonna keep you up. You gotta find a way to not fall off and die, or maybe you can hold off to all 3. takes a moment to pause, is embarrassed. This is getting recorded. Oh no. And no teddy bear today. Takes a death. Yeah, I want to do it from the top of Soul Pillar. I forget if JP just goes for pillars at this point. Doesn't want to have that happen again. It's now 40 minutes behind and needs to finish before Big D does in order to qualify. Unless Big D takes a few deaths here. And speaking of deaths, I forgot this one happened. Here comes Big D. It's like, okay, just got to jump over it. Jumps prematurely. Premature jump. That's a death for Big D. Gives a little bit of a breath of life into Liam, into JP. JP will now have 5 minutes to finish after. Yeah, JP's doing it from the right position. You need to sprint after every usage of your shift. If you were not sprinting after every use, yeah, you can tell he's not sprinting. You want to know how you can tell? You see, here's what happens to JP. And no offense, JP, I've been in the exact same situation. One of the first ever loadout races I did, this was one of the loadouts. And this was back where if you died in the game, you had to restart and there was no +5 or anything like that. And it was the most embarrassing moment ever. I almost ended stream after it happened. I was furious. I'll just leave it at that. Well, what you got to do, you can always tell if you're sprinting. See, okay, this is the not sprint. You have a line, a dot, and a line. And you need to have the carrot. You need to have the carrot up. The carrot up pops up if you're sprinting, and you get more lift from your shift if you have the carrot because you're sprinting, right? JP would have been fine. You only need one hoof to get up here with that. Had the right position and everything. You can see he sprints there for a second, then stops. And because of that, that's going to be yet another death. And the one chance that JP had there, now gone because of Big D, or yeah, because Big D's only at 2 deaths. But who's still in contention here is Liam. Liam is only 20 minutes behind Big D, right? 82.27. Big D's at 62.34. So a little under 20 if we're adding in those extra seconds from the time people have been pausing and other things. Right? I mean, Big D is pretty much certain to win at this point, unless a lot of deaths happen right here. Right? If Big D, right? Big D's only on phase 1 still. If Liam has Big D die 4 times, maybe 5 or 6 times, which could happen once phase 3 kicks in. Crowd control isn't that good. Big D did get a brilliant behemoth from Soup. We see Liam actually approaching that now. It's going to see the behemoth and maybe try to take it. Wait, was that Leeching Seed? Oh, it's Death Mark. But Liam already had a Death Mark. I guess there was no other good green item then. Yeah. It only has 1 green scrap? Or is that a yellow scrap? Nope, has a defense nucleus still. So how's that happen? Let's take a look at Killer Bunny's end time. Yeah, JP gave up on pillar skipping, by the way. But it's okay because with all the drones that JP has, doesn't really have to play aggro at all or anything. Can just kind of sit back and relax. Right, has 1 there. I think has both pillars done. That's both of them. You don't want to run in a straight line though. That perfected will F you up. Yep, 75 health. Look out, JP. Hang in there. You can take care of it. There's the slow, there's the Neurotoxin, there's the Shuriken, which procs the band. That's 4 debuffs. Death Mark is applied. Everything is good. The world is great. And also great is I don't know if you can read the time. That says 319 minutes and 20 seconds for Killer Bunny. So time to first. I can't believe I'm typing this in. 319 minutes and 20 seconds. And that would mean that any racer that goes to 359 minutes and 20 seconds before doing phase 4 will have to concede. The good news for Liam, the good news for Big D, the good news for JP is they have over 4 hours before that. It's a problem. So they're feeling pretty good. Maybe not feeling good, but doing good as a Creon procs a sticky bomb for JP. The Creon, we'll go ahead and take a look at that actually. JP's moving over, doesn't go for a hug, just goes for an immediate value right there, just an immediate shot. I don't agree with that idea, right? You have so much chances to build up Death Mark, to build up Scorpion, try and just, I would rather just have Mithrix sit in the center. He gets 200 armor, but I mean, look how many Scorpion debuff. That's already like 100 debuff right there. So you'd only be missing out by about, here we'll get Killer Bunny's screen off the screen there. As JP takes a death, JP now on the bottom left. Dies from Mithrix there. Right, doesn't have any fuel cells. There was a fuel cell printer. Guess it's kind of too late to really go into that when you're that far away from the soups and all that. But oh man, I mean the damage on JP, the damage on on Liam is really, really good. Big D took a long time to do phase 1. Is now on phase 3 though, as phase 2 wasn't too bad. Applying the death mark, a lot of death mark this run. Rex is really good at doing that. And it's gonna run away here. And oh my god, takes a swipe from Mithrix. Look out. It's down to 43 health. And oh, that's gonna be a faraway pizza. I mean, it's just RNG pizza at this point. There's not really any dodging it. Okay. That's good. And I want to go back just a little bit. Please forgive me. Take a look at JP's damage. Look at this. The build-up. Had JP managed to just know about that pillar skip, would be a few deaths less right now. Right, would only be like 35 minutes behind. And it's right here. Take a look. Goes for the root, right, doesn't have any feather. Takes a block from a teddy bear, saved by that. Would still be alive and still be fine. And with the death mark, with all the Scorpion, it wasn't his own Prion, but it was his drone's Prion that finishes Mithrix off and just does a ton of damage. Is now on phase 2. There is still a chance for JP, just like there was a chance for Killer Bonnie, who is currently holding first place temporarily at 319 minutes and 20 seconds. If JP can finish phase 4 Mithrix before Big D is done charging the ship, he will still be able to qualify his time. Liam, on the other hand, is only 20 minutes behind, is already done with phase 1, is on phase 2. Is about to die, though. Golem shots. Oh, dodges those. That was close. Is hanging on for dear life as Big D is slowing down in phase 3 again. Just a whole lot less damage coming out. Liam takes to death just from all the golem shots and exploders. Man, if Liam had gone for the empathy cores, they would do so much damage right now. Same with W for that matter. I don't think W used the gun, and then Liam just went for the Zai construct. If you just take care of one Zai, you have a Paris empathy cores that do like 6 times the normal damage. Another Prion drone lands a shot for JP. I think equipment drones have a 80% cooldown reduction. So instead of there being a Prion every, what, like 140 seconds, it's popping up every, like, 30. Which, not bad. Really not bad. Not bad until Mithrix starts doing pizza anyways. JP sees another chance, gets another shot landing. No value from the fire band, and no sticky this time, but ends up taking a death as Mithrix goes for a dash. And is now, I mean, what, like 123 minutes in, is far out of reach from Big D. Big D's gonna need to die like 10 times. If Big D dies like 10 times, and JP stops dying, and then either Big D or, I mean, not Big D, JP or Liam, not only get in first place and second place, but JP, oh wait, no, Big D just needs to get in third. So no matter what happens here, as Liam takes yet another death, no matter what happens to Big D here, in the last portion of Phase 3 here, throughout Phase 4, Big D just needs to beat Killer Bunny's 319-minute run. As JP walks into a pizza shot, I mean, it's like full tilt at this point. How many deaths is JP at? Is that like 14 deaths? Something like that. And Liam takes a death as well. You don't want to take deaths if you're Liam. Liam's really the only one who has a shot still, assuming he can... I mean, assuming Big D finishes and charges ship before everyone else is done, which actually might not be the case. I think JP has a shot of charging, or finishing Phase 4 before the ship is done. It's going to be close, though. But Liam at 105 minutes, right? The time to complete is 110 right now if Big D were to finish right here. Right, only 7 deaths behind. Has a shot, has a chance. As a Prion drone goes off. I mean, there's been a lot of Prion drones. We'll see. Oh my god. Did the same thing happen to Big D? This looks like one of Big D's biggest flaws here. Might be a Giga gamer, but there's a reason why Big D isn't seed number 1 or 2 or 5 or even 10, and that's, again, just the timing. The timing of those shockwaves, the timing of the jumps. Doing a little too premature, maybe thinking about standing right up dead in center. Does get a fire band Phase 4 skip with the Shuriken. And is going to be able to finish off Mithrix. Boom, that's done. And says, good enough. Which, good enough indeed. That's going to be not only good enough for you to get double bonus points, but, I mean, by more than half an hour. You're at 75 minutes. Time for DNFs. Once you finish the ship, as oh my god, JP actually finishes off, gets a Phase 4 skip, a very vital Phase 4 skip that he needed. Is going to be done with Mithrix, and because of being done with Mithrix, is going to be able to at least qualify, and unless JP jumps off a cliff 25 times, 45 times in the next 10 minutes, or 2 minutes, is going to be able to beat Killer Bunny, so we'll at least get 1 point there. But, oh, another shockwave incident as Liam also gets the Phase 4 skip. No Phase 4 today, I guess. Finishes off Mithrix. That's going to be it. Everyone's done. Everyone here remaining on the screen is going to be able to finish. And Killer Bunny's plan to game the system to make everyone else concede completely backfires. 100% backfires on him. It's a clever idea. It's a clever strategy. Definitely finished first in real time by like a good 10 minutes. But with that 319 just sitting there, as long as anyone else was able to finish, was guaranteed to beat Killer Bunny. And I mean, now the only thing we can really think about here is Big D's finishing up, definitely going to get those bonus points, is JP versus Liam here. Yeah, Big D gets a 76.50 something. I don't know the exact time on that. All I know is it's definitely faster than the other two. But we'll go ahead and look at them right here, as there's a chance that some of them might die on the ship during charge. Time to first get out of here. As they're finishing up the charge, I mean, oh, the wrong one that needed to die died. JP takes another death, now at 142 minutes. Meanwhile, Liam's at 117, 118. JP needed Liam to somehow, I mean, giga throw on purpose and take 5 deaths on the ship to get second place. But it's looking pretty guaranteed that Liam's going to get in second place for this loadout here. As the ship is already halfway done being charged, can afford to take like 3 deaths and we'll be fine. Might actually take a death here. Yep, there it is, there it happens. That's a grub. But it's okay, Liam. You're not the only one to do it. Many others also died on the ship. 16 deaths in 142 minutes and 43 seconds is W. And now it's just down to Liam. As the time to second place... Oh, I don't even need to type it out. It's over. Let's go ahead and take a look. as we wait for the ship to go up. There are two types of racers in this world. There are racers that immediately try to skip, and there's the ones that just let the whole cutscene play out for the whole like minute and a half. Liam's a cutscener. Oh, never mind. $123 and 21 seconds is the final time. For Liam, for JP, it's 142 minutes and 43 seconds. And Big D's screen is going full Big D. I mean, look at that. You can't even tell at this point. But that's okay. We can go ahead and hand out points. Well done to all the racers here again today. Thank you so much for watching this video. But yeah, it's going to be 10 points for Big D. 1 point for JP. 0 points for Killer Bunny's strategy as it backfires. But 2 points for Liam. Really needed points. Or really needed for Liam and JP. We'll give them a chance come week 7 to maybe try and qualify. Liam, I think, is going to get shot back up into wild card as long as he can finish maybe in 3rd place in the last race. We'll be able to qualify. As for JP, might need a little bit more help. But this is a good start. Maybe with another 3rd place or a 2nd, we'll be able to get in there. Killer Bunny, meanwhile, at the 21st seed, getting in 4th place against 2 people who are beneath, that's really not good. You're going to have to do really good on week 7 in order to pull off a playoff spot at this point. And as for Big D, I looked at the leaderboard. It's not looking likely, but while you're not going to be in a top 8, there's a good chance you end up in the 9th or 10th seed, depending on how week 7 goes. GG to everyone. Again, what a performance by Big D. Thanks for watching. Till next time. Peace.